Tonight the lights rise over the boxing world once again, and the sound of gloves striking flesh echoes through arenas across continents. Every punch carries a story. Every round carries destiny. From March to April of 2026, boxing delivered moments that reminded fans why this sport remains one of the most electrifying spectacles on earth. Fighters stepped through the ropes chasing glory while knowing that 1 second could change everything. One mistake could erase years of preparation. One perfectly timed punch could create history forever. The crowd settles into silence as two undefeated warriors begin their clash. Featherweight prospect Jose Fernandez walks forward with calm confidence. Across from him stands Giovanni Lewis, determined to protect his flawless record. The opening rounds feel tense and measured as both men search for rhythm. Then suddenly the moment arrives. Fernandez explodes forward with a thunderous left hand that cuts through the air like lightning. Lewis freezes for a fraction of a second before collapsing to the canvas. The arena erupts. The referee waves it off. Just like that, another rising star announces his arrival with a brutal third-round knockout that echoes across the boxing world. Moments later, the atmosphere shifts to heavyweight power. Australian puncher Tamona Taramona steps into the ring carrying a terrifying reputation. Every previous opponent has fallen early, and Curtis Harper hopes to survive the storm. The bell rings and Taramona wastes no time. He stalks forward, throwing heavy artillery. A crushing left hand lands clean and Harper stumbles backward, unable to recover. The referee intervenes before more damage can be done. Another first-round knockout adds to Taramona's growing legend, proving once again that heavyweight boxing lives on the edge of chaos. Sometimes boxing delivers shock before the audience even settles into their seats. Brandon Jane Lewis faces Dominican challenger Vincent Dea in a super middleweight contest expected to last several rounds. Instead, the impossible happens. The bell sounds and Lewis launches a sudden attack. 2 seconds later, Dea is down and unable to continue. The crowd gasps in disbelief. A fight planned for war ends before it truly begins, leaving commentators searching for words to describe what they just witnessed. In another arena, Daniel Line steps forward representing the disciplined school connected to Alexander Usyk. His opponent Christoph's Bull Mears enters confident yet cautious. Line moves with precision, showing balance and patience. Within minutes, he dismantles Bull Mears piece by piece. Sharp combinations break resistance, and a final sequence forces the referee to step between them. Barely 2 minutes pass, yet dominance has already been established. Efficiency becomes the story of the night. Redemption soon takes center stage as Jin Sasaki returns after a painful world title setback. Facing Marlon Pagel Palin, he knows every second matters. Palin charges aggressively, hoping to overwhelm the former contender. The early exchanges feel dangerous as punches fly from both directions. Sasaki waits, calculating every movement. Then the opening appears. A perfectly timed counter lands flush, stopping Palin instantly. The comeback victory restores belief and reminds fans that experience often triumphs over chaos. Championship ambitions fill the air when undefeated light flyweight Terry Washington meets Eduardo Reyes for regional titles. Washington establishes authority, immediately dropping Reyes with a crushing left hand. The momentum never slows. Round after round, Washington applies relentless pressure until Reyes' corner makes the difficult decision to protect their fighter. The towel flies into the ring, ending the contest and confirming Washington as a force rising quickly through the division. Across the Pacific, Filipino boxer Alexander Al Mazin seeks his first knockout victory. Against Thai challenger Jack Rapan Mack, the contest begins cautiously, but tension builds with every exchange. As the final seconds of round 1 tick away, Al Mazin unleashes a sudden explosive strike that lands perfectly. Mack falls at the exact moment the bell approaches. The timing feels cinematic. A career-defining knockout arrives in the closing heartbeat of the round. In Kenya, local pride fuels an intense super lightweight battle between Albert Camario and Isaac B. The crowd roars with every punch. Camario lands an early knockdown, setting a relentless pace. B bravely rises, attempting to fight back, yet another powerful right hand ends the contest moments later. The fight lasts barely a minute, yet delivers drama worthy of any championship stage. Samuel Arnold III defends his light heavyweight title with ruthless efficiency. From the opening bell, he storms forward, refusing to allow space or recovery. A devastating body shot produces a delayed reaction that sends his opponent collapsing in pain. The mouthpiece flies free and the referee signals the end. Less than 90 seconds are needed for Arnold to reaffirm his dominance. Estonian fighter Jin Palm steps into action against Fabio Casco. Midway through the opening round, Palm digs a vicious body punch into his opponent. The impact drains all resistance. Cascone sinks to the canvas, unable to continue. Sometimes a single shot tells the entire story, and this was one of those moments. British contender Richard Riakporhe faces dangerous puncher Jamie TKV in a physically demanding contest. Riakporhe applies steady pressure behind a crushing jab, slowly breaking his opponent's spirit. As the rounds progress, the pace increases until a heavy combination forces the referee to intervene. Debate follows the stoppage, yet the result stands. Another victory secured through relentless aggression. Heavyweight prospect Pat Brown enters, next determined to showcase power against veteran Vasil Duker. Brown fights on the front foot, landing heavy blows from the start. Duker attempts to endure, yet repeated clean connections lead to a knockdown. Moments later, the referee halts the contest. Young Nicaraguan fighter Jordan Orozco continues his pursuit of perfection. Facing Daniel O.A., he wastes little time asserting control. A knockdown arrives at the end of round 1, followed by a decisive finish in round 2. Orozco extends his knockout streak, proving that youth combined with confidence can create unstoppable momentum. Drama intensifies when Javier Centron meets Mexican veteran Victor Sandoval. The fight erupts instantly as Sandoval drops Centron within 30 seconds. Blood flows and tension rises. Centron responds with fierce determination, returning fire and scoring a knockdown of his own. Both fighters exchange violence in a wild opening round before Centron delivers the finishing blow. The crowd witnesses one of the most chaotic rounds of the year, ending in spectacular fashion. At the IBA Pro event, Sergey Kaldanov represents Russian discipline against Cuban challenger Abel Lima. Kaldanov advances, relentlessly maintaining forward pressure. A second round knockdown shifts momentum completely. Lima rises bravely, yet another crushing left cross sends him sliding into the corner where the referee waves off the bout. Persistence transforms into victory. Latvia hosts another explosive encounter as Igor Troshins faces Aruras Bod. In round 2, Troshins accelerates the pace, scoring a knockdown that changes everything. Bod attempts survival, but relentless attacks follow until the knockout becomes inevitable. Precision and aggression merge into a decisive finish. Mexican super flyweights Fernando Quiroz and Santiago Barajas deliver an entertaining slugfest filled with non-stop exchanges. Fans stand in anticipation as both fighters trade punches without hesitation. In round 5, Quiroz lands a savage body shot that ends the contest, instantly proving that power aimed to the body can be as devastating as any head strike. Young prospect Curmel Moton enters under the guidance of Floyd Mayweather. Facing veteran Wilfredo Flores, he displays speed and confidence beyond his years. Moton traps Flores in the corner, unleashing a furious barrage that forces the referee to stop the fight. Another step forward for a rising talent carrying enormous expectations. Legendary Filipino champion Nonito Donaire returns to action against Japanese puncher Rico Masuda. Age meets ambition inside the ring. Masuda's speed challenges the veteran throughout the contest. Donaire shows heart, refusing to surrender even after suffering heavy punishment and a knockdown. Ultimately, his corner throws in the towel, protecting a warrior who has given everything to the sport. The moment feels emotional, reminding fans of boxing's unforgiving passage of time. Cuban heavyweight Fernando Cusa faces American journeyman Nathan Bedwell. In round 2, Cusa unleashes destructive power, sending Bedwell crashing to the canvas. Though he rises briefly, another assault follows immediately, producing a second knockdown and an inevitable stoppage. The heavyweight division gains another dangerous contender. Former title challenger Stephen Butler battles Ramadan Hizani for continental honors. Butler controls the contest with authority before delivering a highlight reel knockout that secures the championship and reignites his pursuit of global recognition. Charismatic technician Ben Whittaker entertains fans with dazzling movement against Brian Suarez. Using reflexes and sharp combinations, he makes his opponent miss repeatedly. Then a sudden right hand ends matters inside the first round, continuing Whittaker's streak of spectacular victories. One of the most dramatic fights of the period unfolds when William Corolla meets aggressive challenger Glenn Byrne. Corolla suffers multiple knockdowns, appearing moments away from defeat. Yet resilience defines boxing greatness. In round 7, Corolla summons unexpected strength, delivering a devastating knockout that completes an unforgettable comeback and leaves the crowd in stunned celebration. British heavyweight Moses Itauma faces seasoned contender Jermaine Franklin in a high-profile test. Franklin attempts to challenge the young star, but Itauma's speed and accuracy dominate the exchanges. A knockdown arrives in round 3, followed by a brutal knockout in round 5. The performance signals the arrival of a future heavyweight powerhouse. Mexican prospect Alan Chavez closes the chapter of these unforgettable months with one of the most savage knockouts witnessed all year. Against tough veteran Miguel Munoz, he controls distance with calm precision. In round 3, Chavez launches a perfectly timed left hook. The impact is immediate and devastating. Munoz falls motionless as the arena explodes. Commentators declare it a contender for knockout of the year, and fans know they have witnessed something unforgettable. As the final bell fades and the crowds slowly leave their seats, one truth remains clear. Boxing in 2026 continues to thrive through courage, sacrifice, and moments of pure unpredictability. Each knockout tells a story of preparation, belief, and risk. Fighters enter the ring alone, yet their victories and defeats become shared memories for millions watching around the world. These knockouts from March and April remind us why boxing endures generation after generation. The roar of the crowd. The tension before impact. The instant when time seems to freeze before a fighter falls to the canvas. Glory arrives without warning, and history is written one punch at a time. And somewhere tonight another fighter prepares in silence, dreaming of joining this list of unforgettable moments, waiting for the bell to ring and destiny to